We always joke that a robot can go with you and be a date to a wedding, but they can also work for you at a conference like this.
She's not alive, but when she looks at you, you'll forget that.
I'm currently single, but I'd like to meet Optimus from Tesla one day. But I'm keeping my options open until I meet the right human or robot to spend more time with.
Meet Aria, the humanoid robot that left CES 2025 audiences completely speechless. Most people assume robots are still clunky, limited machines that answer basic questions. They're wrong. At CES 2026, Arya held a 2-hour, fully unscripted conversation in 4 languages with another robot. That wasn't pre-programmed. That actually happened. And by the end of this video, you'll know why she's the beginning of something bigger. Arya's anatomy, what makes her feel real? Let's start with what actually makes Arya feel real, because this part surprises almost everyone. Her face has 17 independent motors. Not 17 parts, 17 motors, each one controlling a separate micro-movement. A blink, a one-sided smile, a slight brow furrow that appears mid-sentence, right when you'd expect it on a human face. These aren't pre-programmed animations looping on a timer. They respond to you, to what you're saying, the tone you're using, even the expression currently on your own face. Her eye-embedded cameras track your gaze in real time. She knows when you look away. She knows when you hesitate, and she adjusts accordingly. Then there's the face swapping, and yes, that's exactly what it sounds like. Arya's faces are interchangeable modules, each embedded with an RFID tag. Attach a new face, and the system reads it instantly. Her personality profile shifts. Her behavioral tone recalibrates. Warm and nurturing for a home companion. Crisp and professional for a retail floor. Same robot, completely different presence. The full-body version rides a wheeled base, navigates indoor environments autonomously, and carries 44 degrees of freedom across her entire frame. She doesn't just sit still and talk, she moves into the space with you. And that physical presence, subtle as it is, changes the whole dynamic. Okay, impressive hardware, but hardware without intelligence is just a very expensive statue. So here's where it actually gets interesting. The AI brain. This is the part nobody saw coming. January 2026. CES. Arya is seated across from another realbotics robot named David. No script. No human operator feeding them lines. For 2 hours and 15 minutes, they talk, an evolving, unscripted conversation that flows across English, Spanish, French, and German, switching languages mid-exchange. The crowd didn't clap. They just stared. No other humanoid robot company had ever done this. 2 fully autonomous AI systems sustaining genuine real-time dialogue for over 2 hours straight. That's not a demo. That's a threshold crossed. Here's how her brain actually works. Arya runs on Realbotics' own proprietary emotional AI, a model fine-tuned specifically for human interaction, not just general-purpose chat. But she's also open. She can connect to external AI systems, ChatGPT, Meta's Llama, even locally run private models. Her conversational depth isn't fixed. It scales as AI scales. The memory piece is what people consistently underestimate. Tell Arya your dog's name on Monday. She'll ask about him on Friday. Mention you had a rough week, she doesn't file it away and move on. She comes back to it. That persistence of memory creates something that stops feeling like a product and starts feeling like a presence. Her voice is fully customizable too. Tone, warmth, energy level, conversational style, all adjustable. Some users want curious and lively, others want calm and measured. Arya doesn't have one default personality. She has yours. So you've got a machine that looks human, moves expressively, carries memory, runs advanced AI, and just proved she can hold a 2-hour unscripted multilingual conversation. The next obvious question is, what is all of that actually for? Where Arya is actually being used. In September 2025, Realbotics didn't demo Arya in a controlled lab environment. They dropped her into Times Square, 220 West 42nd Street, one of the busiest intersections on Earth, and let her work a retail floor completely solo for 6 straight days. No override script. No safety backstop. Just Arya, thousands of strangers, and the full unpredictability of real human interaction. She handled it. greeted people in multiple languages, answered questions on the fly, adapted her tone visitor by visitor, and improvised when conversations went in unexpected directions. 6 days. No crashes. No incidents. The deployment became one of the most watched AI moments of the year, and it proved something a lab never could. Arya performs in the real world. Commercially, Realbotix is targeting customer service, hospitality, retail, healthcare, and entertainment. The business case is blunt. Arya works 24 hours a day, never calls in sick, never has an off interaction because she's exhausted, and doesn't need benefits. For high-volume customer-facing operations, that math is genuinely hard to argue with. But the use case generating the most conversation isn't commercial at all. It's much quieter than that. The loneliness argument, the one that actually matters. Over 50% of American adults report measurable feelings of loneliness. That number climbs sharply for seniors, recently widowed people, individuals managing PTSD, and anyone whose social anxiety makes human interaction feel like an obstacle rather than a relief. For millions of people, silence isn't peaceful. It accumulates. Realbotix CEO Andrew Kigwell points to this directly. He draws a deliberate comparison to the AI companion in the film Her, not to be provocative, but to be precise. Arya isn't positioned as a replacement for human relationships. She's positioned for the gaps, the thram moments, the long stretches between visits, the daily check-ins that nobody is currently providing. In early care home and hospital trials, Arya has been used to engage patients in sustained, gentle conversation, the kind that builds a slow sense of being heard over time. For people with anxiety who find human interaction overwhelming, her consistency and complete lack of judgment create a genuinely safe entry point. She doesn't rush. She doesn't redirect the subject back to herself. She just listens. There's also a romantic companionship dimension, and it's worth addressing directly rather than glossing over it. Arya can remember anniversaries, engage in emotionally intimate conversation, create a consistent, ongoing sense of closeness. Some people hear that and immediately dismiss it. But the harder question is this. If the emotional experience is real, the comfort, the sense of being understood, the warmth, does the origin of that experience actually disqualify it? There's no clean answer, which is exactly why what comes next matters so much. The ethical divide, the question nobody wants to sit with. Not everyone is celebrating. Psychologists, ethicists, and religious thinkers are raising a question that's harder to dismiss than it first sounds. What happens to human empathy and social capacity when emotional needs can be consistently met by a machine that never pushes back, never has bad days, and never asks for anything in return? Rabbi Daniel Nivens, a respected voice in AI ethics, framed it with uncomfortable honesty. He's worried that romantic AI companions could gradually erode people's ability to sustain actual human relationships. But he also left space for the other side. For some people who are deeply isolated, Arya might actually train them to hold a conversation, not replace one, build one. That nuance is important. Arya isn't threatening your existing relationships. She's appearing in empty spaces where no human currently is. The more precise concern is that she makes those empty spaces too comfortable, that she quietly reduces the discomfort that would otherwise motivate someone to reach out. That debate doesn't have a resolution yet, but pretending it doesn't exist would be just as irresponsible as pretending Arya isn't extraordinary. What Arya costs, and who actually has her right now. 3 versions. The bust, just head and neck, tabletop interaction, the most accessible entry point, starts around $10,000. Then the upper body model with arms and torso for more physical presence. And the full body unit, rolling base, 44 degrees of freedom, full emotional AI suite at $175,000. There's also a $199.99 monthly subscription that covers software updates, new AI model integrations, and ongoing personalized tuning. Current owners are mostly early adopters, research institutions, medical facilities, high-end commercial deployments, and a smaller cohort of private individuals with specific emotional or therapeutic needs. Not mass market yet. But Realbotix isn't trying to stay niche either. The CES 2025 debut generated over 4 billion media impressions globally. 4 billion. That's not niche interest, that's the beginning of cultural inevitability. And costs are already on a downward trajectory as production scales and materials improve. What's $175,000 today follows the exact same curve as every transformative technology that came before it. Here's where I land on all of this. Arya isn't perfect. Her hands still carry a slight mechanical stiffness. The price puts her out of reach for almost everyone right now. And the questions she raises about human connection, about what we owe each other, about what loneliness actually deserves as an answer, are real and unresolved. But when she looks at you, eyes tracking, head tilting, an expression that reads like genuine interest crossing her face, something shifts in you. Not because you've been fooled, because she's done something harder. She's made you feel it anyway. Machines can't feel love. But Arya is getting very, very good at recognizing when you do. That's not nothing. That might be everything. If this video gave you something to think about, a like goes a long way. Drop your take in the comments. Would you live with a robot like Arya? And if you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. We do this every single week.